Hello, and welcome to Math Matters. I'm Mrs. Hale, and today we are going to learn about comparing and contrasting plane and solid shapes. Today you will need paper, pencil, and a small box, like a tissue box or a cereal box if you can find one. I will give you 2 minutes to gather what you need before we get started on our lesson. You have about 1 more minute to gather what you need before we begin our lesson. All right, even if you haven't found everything that you need, come on back and we'll get started. At the end of today's second grade lesson, you will know you have met today's learning goal if you are able to compare and contrast plane and solid figures using specific vocabulary. As you are working today, you will also have an opportunity to practice your communication skills by sharing your ideas through writing and drawing. First, we're going to review some information about plane shapes. I will show you some plane shapes, and your job is to tell me how many vertices you see. Remember, a vertex is where two sides meet. There are red dots on the first shape, showing you where the vertices are on the square. How many vertices do you see? There are 8 vertices. There are 4 vertices on each square. 4 and 4 equals 8. Let's do another one. How many vertices do you see? There are 9 vertices. Each triangle has 3 vertices. 3 and 3 and 3 equals 9. Let's try some more. How many vertices do you see? I see 4 vertices on a rectangle and 3 vertices on each triangle. So there are 10 vertices in all. Ready for the last one? How many vertices do you see? Can you use the one we just did to help with this one? There are 10 vertices again. There are 2 triangles and a square. Circles have 0 vertices, so there are more shapes, but the same number of vertices as the last one. Let's review some vocabulary. This is a word bank. It is a box full of important words that describe plane shapes. You will need your paper and pencil for this. Draw each plane shape that I name. Circle, square, triangle, rectangle. Did you draw all 4 plane shapes? Next, we're going to review the vocabulary of side. Use your pencil to trace the sides of each shape. Next to each shape, write down how many sides it has. I'll give you some time to work. Did you write down that a circle has 0 sides, a square has 4 sides, a triangle has 3 sides, and a rectangle has 4 sides? Now, we're going to use your pencil to draw dots on the vertices of each shape. How many vertices does each shape have? I'll give you a minute to look at your shapes and draw the vertices. Let's review. How many vertices are on your circle? You should have 0. How many vertices did you show on your square? There should be 4 vertices. You should have 3 vertices on a triangle, and 4 vertices on a rectangle. Last, we're going to look at right angles. Use your pencil to show that squares and rectangles have right angles. You can use the same symbol as the picture, a little box. Go ahead. I will give you about a minute to show your right angles on your drawings. All right, let's move on to our next vocabulary. Here is some more important vocabulary. This is called a word bank. It is a box full of important words that describe solid shapes. Let's start on the left side of the screen. Can you match the picture with the name of the solid shape? The words are cube, rectangular prism, and sphere. What is the name of the green solid shape? Did you say cube? If you did, you are right. What's the name of the next solid, the round one in the middle? The round solid is called a sphere. What is the name of the yellow solid shape? Did you say rectangular prism? If so, you got it right. You will need the box that you found in your house for the next part. Remember, a box is a rectangular prism. Touch and count the faces of your rectangular prism. Remember, faces are the flat surfaces on your rectangular prism. How many faces did you find? I'll give you time to explore. You should have touched 6 faces. The next thing we are going to look for are the edges. Remember, the edges are like the red outlines in the picture. See how many edges you can count on your rectangular prism. I will give you some time to explore and count. You should have touched and counted 12 edges on your rectangular prism. The last thing we are going to look for are the vertices. Remember, vertices are where the edges meet, like the blue dots in the picture. Touch and count the vertices on your rectangular prism. I will give you some time to touch and count the vertices. You should have touched and counted 8 vertices on your rectangular prism. How did you do? Again, it is tricky to count edges and vertices, but the more you practice, the better you're going to get. Good job practicing. Now we're going to use that math vocabulary that we just practiced. There are 3 big figures in the center of the screen. Your job is to choose 2 of the figures that you think are most alike. You can also draw pictures or write words on your paper to help explain your thinking. I will give you time to think and explain your choice out loud. So, which 2 figures are most alike? Explain your thinking out loud. I'll give you time to think now. You might have said the rectangle and triangle are most alike because they are both two-dimensional, flat, plane shapes. Both the rectangle and triangle have sides and vertices. You could also have chosen the rectangle and the rectangular prism as most alike. This is because the faces of the rectangular prism are rectangles. You can see vertices on both, and there are right angles in both the rectangle and the rectangular prism. How did you do using your math vocabulary? We're going to try another one. Here are 3 new figures. Choose 2 figures that are most alike and use the word bank at the bottom to help you explain your choice. You may also want to draw pictures or write words on your paper to help you explain your thinking. I'll give you some time to think and to explain your choice out loud. So go ahead, choose. Which 2 figures are most alike? Tell me why you think they are alike. You may have chosen the sphere and the circle. Both are round and made up of curved lines. You could also have chosen the square and the circle because both are plain, flat, two-dimensional shapes. All right, we have one more. This is the last one. Which two figures are most alike? Explain your thinking out loud. You can draw pictures or write words on your paper if that helps you too. And the word bank is still at the bottom of the page to help you use math vocabulary. I will give you time to choose your two that are alike and explain why. Tell me why you think they are alike. You may have said that the square and the cube are most alike. This is because the cube has 6 faces that are squares. Both the cube and the square have vertices and right angles. You could also say that the cube and the sphere are most alike. Both the cube and the sphere are three-dimensional solid shapes. How did it go? It is not easy to explain your thinking using math vocabulary, but you did a great job trying. Now, let's reflect on your learning. How did you do today working towards our learning goals? Use your thumbs to show how you think you did. I can compare and contrast plain and solid figures using specific vocabulary. Thumbs up, I got it. Thumbs to the side, I'm still practicing. Or thumbs down, I still need some help from a grown-up. It takes a lot of practice to describe shapes using math vocabulary. I'm proud of you for trying it out with me today. In today's episode of Math Matters, we learned how to compare and contrast plain and solid figures using specific vocabulary. Try to look for plain and solid shapes at home today and practice describing them. I'm Mrs. Hale. I hope you have a great day and keep on counting.